Okay, we're back. We're going to import those files back in and then reconstruct the diamonds tibble. So how are we going to do that? So let's get rid of that for a second. We need to go dir. I think dir is the command, and then we can look inside data store. Let's see what this gives us. So it gives us all the files that are inside that directory. Another argument is the full names equals true, and that's giving us the full path. The full path relative to our current working directory, which is the desktop. So all files, we can call that our all files, and then for each of the files in the all files vector, we can do something. So we want to read CSV, and we want to read CSV I. But if we do this, you'd think it would work, but it's not going to, for several reasons. The first reason, if we run it, we got something here, but it's only the very good ones. There's no other cuts in it, and that is the last one inside the list. Well, alphabetically it might be, I think. But you can see from the console that it still did it 5 times. The problem is that it's overriding this import object every time. So that's not very helpful. So what we need to do is we need to assign, we need to use the gets operator, but to a different object each time. Okay, so we could do it this way. We can go assign to I, and then what do we want to assign to it? That. So if we run this, let's just go ahead and clear this first and clear the console. So all files, and then run it. So now we've got all of the items being brought in as separate objects. So that's very cool. There is another thing that we could do that might be better than that, and I think it's also technically faster than a for loop. We can do this lapply. So to every item on that list, do read CSV, and then I want to, whatever the result of that is, I want to call that X. Oops. Oops, sorry, you don't need that. You don't even need that. So all files, that's correct. And then, yeah. So that's worked, and we've got something, a large list. And you will see how it has imported everything, and it's imported them as separate items in the list. So that is quite interesting. And as I mentioned before, how lists are a funny thing. I think there's a way, bind rows. Yeah. So bind rows has combined all of those separate items in the list on top. It's stacked, it's appended them on top of each other. So now if we even just do Y like that, then we can go Y $cut, and then go unique, and we can see that they've all been brought in, which is great. Alright, but once again, just note how they've been brought in as characters. They've lost their ordinal factor thing. So if we save them as RDS files, they wouldn't have lost that. Okay, so that is lapply, doing one function using that argument, doing it many times. Okay, so yeah, the sequel to lapply is really using the map function. which is a fair bit better, and I might show it to you in the next video. Okay.